Good morning, everybody. Gonna come with you to you today with another short. It's Saturday. Nita and I are heading to the big town to get her some new tires because she doesn't like her tires right now. But anyway, we're gonna look in the Old Testament a little bit today, but we're gonna talk about a current problem that is engulfing our nation and our world. We're going to talk about something that is a movement and not in a good way. So, my question to you first off the bat, what was the sin of Sodom and Gomorrah? Can anybody answer that question? I know a lot of people say it was because of the homosexuality and the lesbianism. That's one explanation. Another one was because they tried to get it on with some angels when the end came near. But that's not really the reason. We're going to look in Ezekiel. We're going to go to chapter 16, verses 48 through 50. And I'm going to read that out of the NLT. As I live, declares the Lord your God, Sodom, your sister, and her daughters have not done as you have done, and your daughters have done. So, this town that he's talking to right now did worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. So, what was their sin? It all comes down into the next couple lines. Behold, this was the guilt of your sister Sodom. She and her daughters had arrogance, plenty of food, and carefree ease. But she did not help the poor and needy. So they were haughty and committed abominations before me. Therefore, Therefore I removed them when I saw them. So let's go back up to 49. Behold, this was the guilt of your sister Sodom. She and her daughters had arrogance. Do we see arrogance around today? I don't know about you, but I see plenty of arrogance. They had plenty of food and carefree ease. There's a lot of food in the world today. It just costs a lot of money right now, but there's plenty of food in certain places. If those certain places would share with other people, there'd be less famine and hunger in the world, but that all goes back to what the original situation was. What was that? Arrogance. What causes arrogance? Simple word. It's the first sin that ever committed. If you've heard some of my talks in the past, you will know this word. It's pride. There is pride everywhere. There's a movement that's pride. But don't get me started on that right now because that's more time than what I have. But there's pride, arrogance, narcissism. Those were the sins of Sodom. It wasn't the homosexuality, though that was a part of it. It wasn't the angels, the situation with the angels, though that was part of it. It was their carefree lifestyle that they had turned their back on God through their pride, through their arrogance. And we as a nation, we as a people have to turn our back on that 5-letter word. Pride. It's a killer. It'll get you in more trouble. I've seen pride from the lowest of people, and I've seen it from the pulpit. I've seen it from the stage of the church. I've seen it within the church itself as a church. I've seen it just as much outside. People think they're more than what they actually are. Because who are we? We're insignificant little ants on the world that God created. And only through Him do we become something. Pride has to be conquered. It's a sin. The movement of pride is a sin. I don't know how to make it more impactful for you, but pride kills. Pride destroys. Pride was the cause of the fall. Satan, the devil's pride, that he wanted to be like God. And how many people walk around today saying, there is no God but me? There's movements saying that. There are churches that say, you're your own God. There are mega churches that say that. I'm not going to go into specifics, but there's a big one that says you're your own God. It's one of those prosperity churches, if you're catching on. But we have to destroy pride in ourselves before we can destroy it in others. So I just wanted to come to you today and talk to you about that. God put that on my heart. I know this is for somebody out there. We are not better than anybody else. We cannot do things without the Lord our God behind us. And we can't change ourselves. We have to get on our knees and ask forgiveness for our pride, for our arrogance, as a nation, and as individuals, and as a church in whole. So I just want to leave that with you for today. Continue to pray for our ministry. Continue to pray for James and Melissa. They need it right now. And we'll get into that a little bit more later at another time. Today's not the day for that. Excuse me. But Anita and I are both here. We just wanted to ask you for your prayers for us. We're going to be traveling this weekend a little bit. Not real far, but we could use some prayers for travel. Pray for James and Melissa, and pray for this ministry. And most of all, continue to pray for each other, because we're not going to change this nation without prayer. So I just wanted to give you this message, dig a little deeper for you. So until we see again, I'll be posting another message again next week. Maybe, hopefully it'll be a little bit longer, but for now, that's what I've got for you. So stay blessed and keep on your knees praying for God to heal you from your pride. Even if you say you don't have pride, we've all got pride. We all think we're a little bit better than we are. And that was the sin. So until we talk again next week, have a blessed day.